these companies who make these do this research would be out of the frame at that point. If it's for profit, then that's out the window. That would be a good step to take, I think. Now, I promised I would get these recorders on there so people know. Another thing to remember legally is please don't, if you're aware a shopkeeper or chain store will not want such a device being used in their stores, keep them off at that point. You may see that there are plenty of people in that store, keep them off at that point. If it looks fairly empty, like you're only going to be 1 or 2 people in, you may like to think about going elsewhere, or perhaps going there with someone you know. If you've got company or other family members you can go with, that's fine. But I never had that at these times I was assaulted. Even though I am a member of a large family, that they were just not there at that point. It's incredible that people can go through that, children can go through that, and nobody comes to help them. That an adult is an adult, and who wants to get involved is a big part of human nature. Not many people would. We can only really do this for ourselves. Screening technology. I've recently thought how we could perhaps get on with making screening fabric. If you thread on a speaker cable, poor quality speaker cable, you'll find that it can interrupt the sound. What is happening is that the flow of electricity is being interrupted. The flow of electricity flows around on the outside of the wire. So if you step on the cable, it's a path of least resistance. If you step on that cable, you are preventing the flow of electricity. If you wind a material or fabric, such as wool, yarn, pure wool, any kind of fabric actually, if you can wind it so the tension on it is to such an extent that electricity can no longer flow through that fabric, then you've created at that point a fabric which is non-conductive. To make that kind of fabric is to take a length of that wool, yarn, place it somewhere where you can have it to work on, and use sewing thread. If you have sewing thread, you can dip that in fabric glue, and you can take as much off of that as you can. Just make sure you've given it a good soaking in it, but at that point get any excess of that excess fabric glue off the sewing thread. The sewing thread needs to be placed on the wool and turned. The upper part of it needs to be tied onto the wool or kept in the same place as the wool, and you wind one around the other. You wind them both around each other like that. You just turn them and turn them and turn them until the tension is to such a degree that you can't turn it anymore. If it starts getting lumpy, knotted to that point, you have to stop before that point. Make sure that it's smooth, but it's also as tight as you can do it without any lumps or other knots forming in it. At that point, the thread has just acted, as I say, like a regulator for the amount of glue you put onto the yarn. I found before that applying the glue straight to the wool meant as you turned it to the tension that it could go, you were getting the glue coming through the wool, mushrooming through the wool, just coming out and oozing out of the wool. And if it dries in that kind of way, the adhesive itself has a good chance of being electrically conductive, so you have an outside surface of the wool which now has an adhesive electrically conductive surface all over it, which has defeated the point. This is why the sewing thread was the next development in it. It takes time to make it because it's It's not automated. It's all handmade. I really hope. Sorry about the but you know that's not me. I know when I see these things, it's not us, is it? It's what they do. Right. I hope this helps you, my friends. I really do. I will be making more videos as I can.